Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to be talking about some quality of life fixes by Mod Mohawk. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right into the video. Let's go. Alright guys, so these are things that were mentioned in the game jam this year, about a week ago, but it's not necessarily all the things that Mod Mohawk will work on, and if you have any suggestions, she gladly will take them on her Twitter for things that she can work on in her tap time. So we're going to talk about the things that she's gotten done, or should have done, relatively soon. So first off, we have a cycle between pet overrides. Currently in the build that we're seeing here, you can cycle between 5 different pet overrides. What she plans to increase that limit up to 10. So basically what's going to happen is you can assign a certain amount of pets to add to this cycle, and when you summon a familiar, the override will be random among the ones that you have selected in that cycle. So it will help you vary it up if you have a certain set of pets that you have favorite. There will be an option in the pet interface that you could toggle on to add that to the summon cycle, and then you won't have to have the same or bound to one singular pet every time you want to summon some familiar, which is actually pretty cool. It just helps vary it up. And like I said, if you have multiple pets that you really like, then you can show them off as you please. So like I said, in the current build, that's 5 pets, but she is looking to increase it to 10, which is awesome. Next up, we have some updates to Historian Minas. And he will now have an option that will tell you exactly what you're missing for kudos, which is pretty cool in case you wonder which kudos you've collected so far, which you haven't. That should no longer be a problem. You'll receive a list in your chat box, pretty much the same as you would with the old comp cape requirements, where it had a list in your chat box showing you all the things you still need. That will be pretty much the same for the kudos now. And I'll also add how many kudos each action can give you, which actually is pretty cool. Just a good way to keep track of your kudos and how much you still need to get, how much each activity you do for kudos is worth, just to help you manage that much more easy. Always good updates like that are welcome in my opinion. Next up, we have some options for the ogre arrow shafts and the flighted arrows. Basically a left click option to feather them, identical to how you would see on normal arrow shafts, and the option to tip the arrows with them as well with a left click, again akin to how normal other arrows work. Just so you know, it's one of those quality of life fixes, bringing other things in the game in line with other parts that are pretty much standard at this point. Next up, we have the escape button. Hitting it and then going to your settings menu will remember which tab you were last on. That's actually kind of nice. You know, nothing really much more to say about that. It's pretty straightforward. Next up, we have an auto-redeem Dunge tokens when you're pickpocketing in the Mailer district in Elf City, which is actually really cool. That's one of the very few districts that fill up your inventory in the 5 allotted minutes that you have while pickpocketing them before you get caught. So that will help mitigate that, the option to just automatically redeem those Dunge tokens, so you'll never get them in your inventory when you're pickpocketing. You'll just get things like the ground up Blue Dragon scales. So that's actually pretty cool. Also with this, if Mod Timbo gives permission to Mod Mohawk, obviously, they'll have the option for charms to be consumed when you're pickpocketing in the Amlaw district, assuming you have the Charming Imp and have selected the appropriate charms to be consumed. So that may also come with this. Next up, we have the legendary Pet Scavenge ability. This will prioritize more valuable items in the pile, which is a really good quality of life update. It's really annoying to see when you're doing Slayer or whatever the case may be, and your pet happens to grab ashes or whatever stupid thing it grabs, when it could have grabbed a rare or any other item of much more significant value. So that is going to be a nice quality of life fix that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be pretty happy about. Moving on, we got the added toggle that will allow you to auto-destroy weeds when you're raking. So, you know, obviously weeds aren't very needed. They make regular compost, but once you're into a significant portion into the farming skill, you're not gonna need regular compost anymore. In fact, you've already upgraded to super compost, and there's no need to use weeds any longer. So that is pretty good. Automatically destroy them. You'll never need them in your inventory. Obviously, like I said, this is a toggle, but a very welcome one at that. Next up, we have the right-click to enter option for the combat training camp. That'll allow you to skip the dialogue. I don't know how popular this area is, but it is used for clue scrolls. But that is the area northwest of Ardone. You unlock the training camp with the ogres in the cage. That actually has a dialogue that pops up every time you want to enter, so there will be a quick enter option that lets you bypass that, which is good. Next up, we have a Convert X for downgrading your clues. I believe Zyda is the one south of Grand Exchange that allows you to downgrade some of your clue scrolls, but apparently you have to do it one by one. I've never done it myself, but a Convert X option will be available, so you can do them in bulk if you happen to have a large amount of clues, especially since considering we can get up to 25 clues per tier nowadays. So that's really cool if you are somebody who really wants to do that. And finally, we got the Phoenix Lair. There are two options on the lair when you're leaving: exit and escape. Confirmed to do the exact same thing, but both have an equal chance to get the pets. So the only difference is one of them has a confirmed dialogue for leaving. She's looking at removing one of the options that doesn't require the confirmation. However, that might not necessarily be the case because she understands that some people may want a quick leave option. So I guess it's one of those things. If you have any concerns, you could definitely voice it to her on Twitter if you don't want that to be removed. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the quality of life updates she's shown off on the Game Jam. Again, these are things that not only she's already been worked on, but not the entirety of things she's willing to work on. So if you have any updates that you would like to see in the game, quality of life updates that is, that are not really game changing, but they will improve your gameplay, do tweet at Mod Mohawk on Twitter so she can work on some of those in her tap time. That being said, I'm going to wrap up the video there. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace.